What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Table, episode 12. I'm Dre.
I'm Jay.
I'm Derek the Jedi.
I'm Bob.
This week we got a couple of things to bring to you today. Immediate news. We got our take on the Democratic debates that just happened last night. We had a lot to say about the Republican debates. Democratic debates, for anybody who didn't watch it, you didn't miss much. It was pretty dry, but I mean, we'll give you their, well, 2/3 of their, or 2/5, excuse me, of their take on marijuana, considering that only 2 people were allowed to answer that question. We also have a new Quinnipiac poll giving us the new stats on how Florida feels on marijuana all around. We have the cannonball run that Bob's going to explain to us. In technology, we're going to talk about the holiday season video games that are coming out. In sports, we're going to talk about football because we like football.
It's always football.
Although we'll give you a little bit of baseball. We'll throw in the Cubs trying to make history and having made a little bit of history already. And then we got a special surprise that we will hold off until the end. But going into weed news, we got the Democratic debate. So the only 2 people who got the answer on the marijuana question was Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. With Bernie Sanders, it's what he's been saying all along, and with Hillary Clinton, it's what she's been doing all along, which is basically wavering on subjects until it's 100% safe for her to say that it's okay. We'll let you listen for yourself, and then we'll go ahead and vent our frustrations.
Senator Sanders, right here in Nevada, there will be a measure to legalize recreational marijuana on the 2016 ballot. You said you smoked marijuana twice, didn't quite work for you. If you were a Nevada resident, how would you vote?
I suspect I would vote yes. And I would vote yes because I am seeing in this country too many lives being destroyed for nonviolent offenses. We have a criminal justice system that lets CEOs on Wall Street walk away, and yet we are imprisoning or giving jail sentences to young people who are smoking marijuana. I think we have to think through this war on drugs, which has done an enormous amount of damage. We need to rethink our criminal justice system, and we've got a lot of work to do in that area.
I'm not really following the debates right now at this current moment because there's still too many people. I'm one of those people who come in when there's the final 2 people. Right. But so what I've been watching with the show so far that we've been doing is all I've been knowing. And Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are the only 2 Democrats that I actually know their names of right offhand.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, so I think it's cool that Bernie Sanders is just yeah, I'd vote for it, why not? It does, he mentions one of the biggest problems is, youths going to jail or lives being ruined over silly little things. Just pointless.
I would like to hear him have more of a plan on how he could be effective in legalizing marijuana, though.
That might probably.
At this stage in the debate, they usually don't reveal too much as far as what their plans are. My hope, though, is that he has something substantial to back it up, because there's a difference between, playing politics and actually getting stuff done. And although all of us would just like to see marijuana removed federally as a Schedule 1, drug, the politics that it would take in order to get that done, I don't know if we're necessarily there yet. With
this still isn't that big of an issue.
Yeah, no.
For them.
Yeah, there's nothing to gain from it. Granted, if you tax and regulate it, there's that to gain from it. But the big money lobbyists that they have to pay attention to on Capitol Hill is not marijuana at this current moment in time.
I feel like the marijuana thing is used more as just getting favoritism, public people liking them and wanting them right now.
Yeah.
And then, so they're going to probably save the big plans for later on. Right now, they're just trying to get...
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, the marijuana progress that has been made so far has all been public push. It hasn't been, I mean, with your exceptions of, like, you know, Earl Blumenauer in Colorado and a couple of people actually on the local level in Florida, down in the Miami area that have actually, but I mean, as far as actually getting things done, it's been by vote, it's been by ballot, it's been people's push up to this moment, and I don't think that that's going to slow down any.
No.
I don't think that there's a politician yet that's going to be able to step in there and actually get something done, regardless of how pro-marijuana their stance is.
I don't feel like any of them even planning to. Like, it's not on anybody's top list. It's just, they're just doing it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was a candidate that actually had a plan. Because then that would plant a seed in all the other candidates, like, maybe we should pay attention to this.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't mean to beat up on Bernie Sanders either. I mean, shout out to him for actually being able to stand up on a stage and say, you know, I support marijuana.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He had no problem with that.
And not that he just supports legalized marijuana, but that he supports that there needs to be a change in order to affect low-income situations less adversely than this war on drug has.
Yeah, because I mean that's the in my opinion that's the unsexy part of marijuana regulation. Like everybody pushes, you know, how much money it'll make and how many jobs it'll create, but nobody has made any progress pushing on the fact that it would give people futures.
Right.
You know, that would keep people out of jail and stop breaking up families.
Very true.
That's the part that's very real and that's very important. A lot more people need to take heed to.
Somebody will get it eventually. I don't think it's going to be for this election. It may be our next president. It may be the next election run. It may happen this time, but somebody will get it finally and actually try to engage in effective change in the way the system's going, because it's not going good right now.
Someone's going to have to do something, because if you keep making promises and promises, even if it's on a small subject like this, like the legalization of marijuana, it's still sitting there on the back burner over and over and over again, and eventually it's going to become a bigger situation than it has to be or that it already is.
Right, and it's already becoming an industry that politicians are not going to be able to ignore for very much longer.
Exactly.
You know, Colorado's doing 33 some odd million a month in revenue. That's going to be up there with the top industries in the nation, and soon there's going to be lobbyists. I don't know if there are lobbyists right now on the Hill for weed, but if there isn't, there's going to be much more coming here shortly.
You're a broke country and you found a way to make money.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it. You struck gold, pretty much. That's what we did. We have a chance to monopolize on that.
Right, and if you think about the 40 some odd million we have, is that nationwide?
People?
Yeah. 40
million? I think somewhere around like 40, 45 million, somewhere between that.
Yeah, there was a research not too long ago that listed like the top 10 nations in the world that use marijuana, and we were number 3 at like 14 some odd percent.
Oh, man.
14% of our total population uses currently marijuana. That's a big chunk.
I really like the part where he talks about the decriminalizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't get recreational usage legalized, still getting a $100 fine is way better than going straight to jail. Don't collect $200, don't pass go.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's not going to be on your record, right?
Yeah. And weed doesn't, like, kill you.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as everything else.
I'm not doing crack.
Hillary Clinton wasn't given the exact same question, but here's her take on marijuana legalization.
You told Christiana Amanpour you didn't smoke pot when you were young, and you're not going to start now. When asked about legalizing recreational marijuana, you told her, let's wait and see how it plays out in Colorado and Washington. It's been more than a year since you said that. Are you ready to take a position tonight?
No. I think that we have the opportunity through the states that are pursuing recreational marijuana to find out a lot more than we know today. I do support the use of medical marijuana, and I think even there we need to do a lot more research so that we know exactly how we're going to help people for whom medical marijuana provides relief. So I think we're just at the beginning, but I agree completely with the idea that we have got to stop imprisoning people who use marijuana. Therefore, we need more states, cities, and the federal government to begin to address this so that we don't have this terrible result that Senator Sanders was talking about, where we have a huge population in our prisons for nonviolent, low-level offenses that are primarily due to marijuana.
Secretary Clinton, thank you.
All right, so what I got from the Hillary Clinton segment we just watched was that she is completely for, or she supports medical marijuana, but doesn't have a true stance on the recreational marijuana yet, or doesn't have one right now at all.
Yeah, she doesn't have a stance on much of anything. She waits until somebody else makes up her mind for her.
She waits until the polls make up her mind for her. And I mean, I don't understand, because like she's sitting there saying that she doesn't support changing any federal laws about marijuana, but she wants more research done for medical. But in order to do research, it's a catch-22. In order to do research for medical, you have to change the classification status of it. I mean, you can't do any research on marijuana with a freaking Schedule 1 classification.
So the government themselves can't do research?
The government themselves is kind of filibustering this thing because, number one, they own a patent for marijuana that says it's for medical use, but in their justification for classifying marijuana as a Schedule 1 narcotic, it says that marijuana has no medical use. So the government has procured a patent to use cannabis for medical usage. Still says it's a Schedule 1 narcotic.
So they can use
because there is no medical use.
Gotcha. That's slightly confusing.
I like that she isn't just saying no to marijuana altogether.
Yeah, she's.
Well, the poll numbers won't allow her to say no to marijuana altogether. I mean,
it's the popularity of marijuana.
Yeah,
you gotta go on board if you want to keep going.
I mean, especially within the Democratic Party. That alone will probably not get you the nomination.
You're expected to be okay with it, even if you're not.
You're fine.
Even her husband didn't inhale, so they don't really know anything about marijuana, right?
What?
It's like being Republican and going for guns.
But she says she's for medical marijuana or the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes, but she doesn't really have a stance on recreation. At the same time, she wants to do more research for the medical to prove that it's actually useful. There's been studies and research and everything done so far back as 34 years in Israel that shows that cannabis is useful for the treatment of PTSD in their soldiers, lupus, MS. The country themselves provide cannabis for their seniors to help with tremors from strokes and stuff like that. There's research all over the web about that. It's just that the United States hasn't recognized that research or won't recognize that research.
So we're chasing our tails, basically, because they act like they're helping, but they aren't.
Like we said before, the marijuana issue isn't really on their radar right now. They're just only touching on it for popularity. That's why they only had 2 out of the 5 people sitting there.
Yeah,
2 out of the 5 Democratic candidates. Were asked about it. That's not a pressing issue for any debate, or it's not a pressing issue for this election. But it may become by the end of the year.
I think Jim Webb, Lincoln Chafee, and Martin O'Malley were still crying when that question was asked. But that's on the national level. Locally, whether politicians want to or not, they can't ignore that marijuana is on the rise. As a matter of fact, the new Quinnipiac poll, actually done in Florida, just showed that for the first time, not only is there a majority for medical marijuana in Florida, but there's also a slight majority for recreational now. The numbers are 87% for medical and 51% for recreational use. Men in Florida back personal use 57 to 41, while women were 49 to 46. Of course, you got millennials that are backing it higher than senior population here in Florida. 66% for millennials, and I think that the senior population is the only population that majority oppose with 56%. But I mean, that's actually pretty surprising considering that we're still a year out from the ballots and we're topping 50% now on recreational use. I mean, as much as we may want recreational use to pass this election cycle, it may take 2 cycles. I mean, it is something to where, I mean, it's not as steep uphill climb to jump another 10% in the next year.
Yeah, it's not.
As far as support for it.
But, like, I mean, even with 51% right now, I'm still not, excited about it yet because we fell so short last time that 51% means nothing to me now. I need it to be 59% or something to even start caring again because it hurt so bad. It was just, we were so close, and then we fell and didn't make it. So, like, numbers now, they change and everything, so it sucks that we have to have the 60% because we obviously have a majority wants it, but now it's got to be the whole 60. I don't understand why it can't be 50, above 51.
Apparently, we need to get the message out to the females of the population.
Yeah.
Well, the female population includes mothers who especially if they don't use and, then all they see is it being an unnecessary burden on their families.
Yeah. But I know for a fact if some of these mothers went out and did the research, like I sit and watch these videos of these kids taking medicine or getting cannabis oil for the first time and going night and day from having 500, 600 seizures a day, and each one of the seizures could kill them, to having one seizure every 3 days or one seizure every 7 days. People are moving to Colorado for this specific purpose because anywhere else in the nation the industries aren't growing the strains that are high in CBD and low in THC like these kids need. If these women went out and did the research, I'm sure they'd have a different story because if it's their kid, they'd do everything in their power to get that medicine for their kids.
And I think the polls show that people are slowly coming around. I mean, I think that as the information gets out there, there's a slow wave that is, upticking the numbers because more and more people are interested in it. I mean, it's flooding the airwaves now. You can't get away from it now. Like it used to be something where you saw special documents on it, once a year or something like that. Now it's on your local news every other week.
Right. There's a new survey or there's a new poll or there's a new research coming out, new papers being written by all these doctors advocating for the usage of marijuana. And people are slowly coming on board with the medical side of it, and people are also slowly okay with the fact that people want to do it recreationally. I think the recreational community needs to maybe get together and get some more spots out there like the medical is, but ultimately if the nation is starting to recognize that marijuana is indeed not as bad as alcohol and pills and all these other things, even though it's considered by the government a Schedule 1 narcotic right along with meth and heroin, people are finally starting to realize that stoners aren't bad. No. They drive just fine. They don't get mad at you. They don't get liver disease. They don't get angry and smash bottles into your melon.
They don't kill people.
Periscope themselves.
Yeah, periscope themselves driving drunk.
But I think that my biggest advocation for recreational use is because it has something for everybody. I mean, it has, it provides tax revenue. It provides petty non-violent offenders not going to jail. It provides, monitoring systems and being held accountable for the way that weed is handled, the way that it's transported, the way that it's grown, so that it's being regulated and being kept away from children. I mean, it's an educated approach to an issue that is an issue simply for the fact that being swept under the rug. Nobody's taking the initiative to responsibly handle what marijuana can be.
I think ultimately if if people weren't so afraid of the stigma that's attached to supporting marijuana, a lot more people would come out and say, hey, it's not that bad of a thing. If we tax it and regulate it like we do alcohol, Colorado's getting $30 to $40 million a month in taxable revenue, and all that money goes directly to the state programs for the schools, for your roads, to help with police officers and everything like that. It's for your state. It's going to boost your economy. Like, if this were, red Kool-Aid and you can make 30 to 40 million off of it in a month, you're damn right everybody in Florida would be supporting it. But
oh god, yeah.
considering it may make you want a brownie at 12 o'clock at night and puts you in a good mood and helps with pain and anxiety and does so many good things for people, but is still classified as a Schedule I narcotic by our government, people are just going to look at it like a drug, and it's not going to get out there as much as it should.
You know what I think? Like, alcohol is legal if you're 21, but it doesn't do anything good for you.
Right.
At all.
There's absolutely no reason to be excited about turning 21 and being able to drink.
Yeah, because you're just going to destroy your liver. It makes no sense.
Right.
You'll never do that on marijuana. You'll never do that on marijuana.
Yeah.
You're not fucking losing your inhibitions and shit,
All right, so announced on the Weed Blog on October 12th, posted by Johnny Green, Magical Butter and the Weed for Warriors project kick off their second annual Cannonball Run for vets. This benefits veterans with PTSD and any other issues that cannabis may help them out with. It pushes for cannabis medicines to be available to our vets when they get back over here. It begins in Los Angeles on October 17th and then spans 7 major cities in the United States. It ends in D.C. on November 11th, and I kind of wish somebody would follow along with a camera and kind of record these events and maybe put up a documentary, because I think it would be real good to get the message out there. Well, Magical Butter embraces the use of cannabis for our vets versus harmful opioids. I can never say that right. Opioids.
Opioids?
Sounds like a cereal.
Sounds like something from Star Wars to me.
Opioids.
Opioid D2.
And debilitating pharmaceuticals. I can say that, but
that's
opioids.
Bigger.
Yeah. The culmination of this event is going to be in D.C., and it's going to feature a march where all the vets are going to carry empty pill bottles to symbolize the harmful side effects, addiction, and in worst cases, suicidal tendencies. That's going to be a strong message, and I really hope that gets some attention.
That's awesome. That's intense right there.
Yeah, if you can imagine,
blew me away.
If you can imagine our veterans from all the wars, because this stuff goes back all the way to Vietnam and before then. These guys come over here and are really messed up, and all our VA is doing is feeding them full of pills that creates addiction issues, and in a lot of cases, there's been some stats out there. I haven't really vetted them myself, but they're saying that more troops are dying from suicide in the United States when they get back than they are overseas.
Holy shit.
So that's a pretty big deal that I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to.
Now, I think I heard the closest city that this comes towards us in Florida is actually Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, it is in Georgia. I've got all the dates. I'll post them up on the Facebook and Twitter and whatnot, and we'll promote this as much as we can to get the message out there to our listeners. But the world headquarters for Magical Butter is actually a local company. It's located in Port Richey, Florida, and it's sold internationally. If you want information on that, they provide machines and whatnot and recipes for creating cannabis butter. So. It was really a shock to me to find out that they're so close to me, so I may go and talk to those guys and see if we can't get something from them officially, but I'll promote local companies as much as I can as long as they're supporting cannabis. But for more information on them, just visit www.magicalbutter.com. And the Weed for Warriors project, what it does is a little synopsis from their website. It aims to allow veterans the freedom to use cannabis as a recognized medical alternative to harmful psychiatric drugs without any discrimination or unjust actions against the individual. So they're protecting the interest in these vets to get cannabis, and they're also protecting them from the harmful stigma of using cannabis. So I think it's a good project, and I'm going to reach out to them and see if we can get a word from them as well. If you want any additional information from them, check them out at www.weed4warriorsproject.org, and we'll post up the links on all our media as well.
Yeah, shout out to Weed for Warriors Project.
That's awesome. That's mind blowing.
Right there.
I just
And shout out to
got
Mexico
one.
Butter. I mean, for all the stuff that we hear coming out of Florida that isn't good news, it's good to be proud of the home state on this one. So
Yeah, we don't get many wins in Newport Richey and Port Richey, Florida. So
Not at all.
Yeah, at
It's-
all, dude.
having a company come from here, so we'll reach out to those guys, see if we can become friends with them, because that's really cool.
they got their first show shout out. So
Yeah.
they are well on their way. I mean, they only need about 10 more to match Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise makes his way on every show somehow.
Every episode. It's because he's amazing. He's a small, amazing man.
Alright, so moving on to the technology, we get to talk about games.
Video games.
Video games.
I love video games.
I think male and female stoners love video games. Like, female stoners are like the biggest gamers. Like,
Yeah, they are. I've seen some hardcore female stoner gamers. Like, they're beast.
Have you ever watched the Twitch streams?
Oh, yeah, I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
There's some pretty hot chicks in there playing.
I sat and watched this hot chick from Australia play Mad Max. Horrible game. There's like points where you gotta just hide in the desert for 15 minutes behind a wall. Yeah, the game is bad, right? I literally sat in her room for an hour and a half and watched it because she was hot and she was talking, and like she didn't do shit in the game.
You know those people make bank.
They make so much money.
They make a lot of money.
It's a lot. It's dope. It's a good job. Once you
I'm
get
super jealous.
and Dre's going to go ahead and explain to us the hot games for the holiday season, since this is when all the big games come out.
Alright, so this year we have Black Ops 3 coming out, which is Call of Duty's annual game coming out. This time it's Black Ops, which is created by Treyarch. So last year we had Sledgehammer with Advanced Warfare. It was their first attempt at it, and it was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was cool.
Horrible.
I feel, yes, someone had it.
I'm
Black
a
Ops series
truist.
is
I
always
can't
better.
do the boost jumping bull crap.
Like,
We're not there yet.
Exactly. That's what Halo's for.
but see, like, I like Titanfall and stuff like that. Like, so it was kind of cool for me. I enjoyed it.
To me, it took a lot of the skill out of it. Like a lot of players that weren't good, now they can just jump all over the map and wait until you're out of ammo and then shoot you.
Yeah, but then that gives you another skill set to learn better, though.
I was already better than that.
Real ammo and a dude that can get shot about 15 times without dying. That's all I want.
Alright, well, Black Ops 3 is coming out on both systems. Black Ops 3, though, is going to have some futuristic shit in it.
I know.
Because they're running out of old stuff to do. Now they've got to do
I played
future.
the beta.
I feel like Call of Duty is starting to dwindle down a little bit. Modern Warfare 3 was the best Call of Duty ever anyways.
I would almost agree.
Almost agree. What did
Modern
you
Warfare. MW3 was good. Black Ops.
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2 is my game.
I like World at War.
Dude, the Black Ops 2 server
World
is
at
still
War
full.
is.
World at War was cool, man.
Black Ops 2 servers is still full, dude.
On the, yeah. Well, because Ghost was horrible, so that instantly made everyone go back to Black Ops 2.
Right.
And then Advanced Warfare was only worth it on next gen, so
Yeah.
if you're on later gen, Black Ops 2 is still your game.
Yeah, I am excited to see the competitive for Black Ops 3 and see how that goes, because it's going to be nice to be able to stream your own competitions
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I'm excited about the competitive part of it, but not a lot of people pay attention to competitive gaming, even though it is a sport.
It is. I catch it. If I catch it, I'll watch it. I'm
Yeah.
never looking for it, though. But, alright, so next up we got Fallout 4, which it's been like 8 years since Fallout 3 came out, and I've been dying every single day to even wish for Fallout 4 to come out. Like, 5 years ago, I heard a rumor about it. It just stuck with me. I was in love with it. I'm like, Boston, it might be in Boston. And then they announced it was in Boston, and I'm like, I knew this was going to happen, but I'm more excited than I ever thought I would be, even knowing this might be the possibility. So, I'm excited about Fallout 4. I know you're excited about Fallout 4, Derek.
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg
that's
on
my
there?
favorite kind.
No, Mark Wahlberg is not in everything that's based in Boston. Even though I would be entertained by that.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I might play it if Mark Wahlberg was in it.
Yeah.
There should be a DLC.
Yeah, there's a Wahlburger that's all fucking decapitated, and you got to go in and save Mark Wahlberg.
Oh man, that would be dope.
It's my favorite kind of game. Like, it's about survival and shit. Like, the scenario is just cool to me.
It is, and it's a really long game, which is the best part because it's so open that you could just do hours and hours and hours of things. Like, I still haven't beat Fallout 3 completely because there's still more for me to look at, and I've been playing it steadily for 8 years. Not steadily, occasionally, that's the word I'm looking for. But it's going to be awesome, and on the whole Mark Wahlberg thing, the facial features and the creation of your character is 100% customizable, so you can make a Mark Wahlberg and make that be your character and have his name be Mark.
Wahlberg.
I'm just going to do Marky.
Marky Marker, the Fresh Boy.
So that's my thing. Alright, so
Is that it?
the next couple games that are coming out that there's specific fans for, they're not as huge, but they're in their own group of people. You know, you got Need for Speed, the racing game. People will always play the new Need for Speed. Me, I'm not. Unless it's Hot Pursuit, I'm not doing it.
Hot Pursuit was so garbage.
What?
Hot Pursuit was good.
Hot Pursuit was amazing. You know what was garbage? The Run.
Yes.
The Run was garbage.
Yeah.
Right? Hot Pursuit is the shit. If you can be the I don't know why, but being the cop or the good guy, it's just something that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's what I feel like car chases and speed racing is. That's what it is. That's what I want to do.
As much as I'm a fan of like simulators and real racing games, like Need for Speed was fun.
Yeah.
Especially because of the free for all. Like being able to drive around a city and do anything that you want.
That's amazing.
Super appeals to me, and I don't understand why.
That's his appeal.
Yeah.
If Gran Turismo had that though.
Yeah. If they ever made a free roam Gran Turismo, I'd be lost for days.
They did it with Forza Horizon.
I don't like Forza. It's too realistic for me. Like, I'm not a big racing fan. I feel like Forza's for
So
me.
you want to bump
like,
off walls at 135 instead?
I'm
of doing
completely
like
content with that. I'm not into trying to think and work really hard while playing a game. You know, like I don't want to have to.
You don't want to have to use a handbrake.
I don't want to use my handbrake. I'm not precise with it. So like, no matter how many times I may think, oh my god, this game is cool, I'm not gonna do good at it. It's not in my skill set. It's not something I can play right. So I just give up on that.
Have you ever played with a wheel?
I haven't played with the wheel since like Nintendo 64.
I've never played with the wheel.
If you played a real simulator with the wheel, you'd be...
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's intense. Especially at force feedback.
Yeah.
Just breaking your wrist because you're trying to turn around, going around a corner. That's
See,
fun.
then I'd probably just have like a traumatic moment where I think I'm going to actually crash. Yeah, hold on to the wheel. Alright, and then you got Star Wars Battlefront, which is for the Star Wars fans and everything. And yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider fans.
Love Tomb Raider.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm not a...
Have you played the new one?
No, Tomb Raider Underworld?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I don't
have it
know.
on the PS4.
I played like 2 Tomb Raiders ago.
It's fun.
And that was it.
I
And
really
then
liked the original Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider 2.
The original Tomb Raider scared the crap out
Yeah.
of me. And I played it on Sega Dreamcast.
Ah, shit, yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. See, the originals are good. I'm not into it becoming 3. I didn't like it when it became 3D stuff and everything. It's just, it wasn't what it was. Like Doom. Was it Doom? No. Yeah, Doom. Doom, the first 2 Dooms, you were just walking around pixelated, shooting everything. Anywhere you aimed, as long as you were looking near that guy, you killed him.
Right.
And when it became Doom 3, and they actually did the 3D gaming and everything, I lost it.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those games where I just wanted to run through a level in 2 minutes.
I remember me and my brothers spent, I want to say the good part of like 3 afternoons after school, because we were only allowed to play for so long. 3 afternoons after school trying to get out of one room in Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
Because we couldn't even find the puzzle that we had to play.
It was a complicated game.
Yeah.
Rock Band 4.
I'm excited about that one. I think we should get a band.
If you do it, I will totally do it.
I will play Rock Band.
I've always
I'll play
wanted
the
to play
guitar.
Rock Band, and I've never played Rock Band.
I'll play the guitar.
I love Rock
Smoking
Band.
Table Rock Band.
That'd be awesome.
I should
Be
play.
on
I
a
should.
platform and challenge people.
I should bring my electric guitar for here. play
You can
music
plug
and
that
shit.
into the new Rock Band,
Yeah.
right? You can use your actual real equipment, I think.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that's over excessive of a real band gets like their whole entire band set up just so they can play on
Yeah.
Rock Band. All right, so another big part of the holiday gaming season is the consoles because it's the time of the year where you can buy a console because it already came out last year. The console prices are dropped. It's Christmas, buy a console, right? So now they are both $349 market price, retail price, which is awesome because then you don't have to worry about prices anymore. So now you're just basing it on which system you like better or what games are coming out that are solely for that system. So with the Xbox One, you're looking forward to games like Halo 5 coming out this year, if you're a Halo fan, which I'm a Halo fan. I really like Halo. I feel like it's a good franchise. It was fun for a while. I didn't like...
Keep space out of my first-person shooter.
All right, that's what you got for Xbox. And then for the PS4, you got Uncharted, but it was pushed back till March. So you're not looking at anything for Christmas except for they're redoing the original Uncharted's into the HD for the PS4.
Yeah.
Who
I've
cares?
never played any of the
Yeah.
Uncharted's. I don't
Yeah.
like scripts.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do in my video game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
So you're looking at Xbox. Here's the perk. You got two exclusive, one slightly exclusive. You got Crackdown 3, which is always fun when you're high because you just fuck up a city and do whatever the fuck you want. It's like one of the best sandbox games I've ever played. Then you got Gears 4, which is just, it's amazing. Gears of War is one of my favorite games. The way it moves, the way it plays, it's a reason to get an Xbox for Gears. Over Halo any day, Gears of War is amazing. The Tomb Raider game, though, however, is going to be out 1 month earlier on the Xbox One than the PS4. Not a reason to jump and get the Xbox One, but it's just something cool to have the Xbox One for, I guess. And the PS4, the only thing that's winning with the PS4 is that they got Street Fighter V only.
Yes.
It's not, yeah. But that's the reason they could trump almost anything.
Street Fighter's a strong one.
Yeah, they pushed back 2 of their main games. One game doesn't even have a release date. It just says 2016. But Street Fighter V, being only PS4, is incredible. And there's no way Xbox will ever have it. Exclusive rights are bought by Sony.
Wow.
Yeah, and Street Fighter 6 is allowed on Xbox now, but there's nothing stopping Sony from buying exclusive rights of that too. And probably buying exclusive rights of the name and bringing it to them. Because they already have more Capcom games than Xbox ever has. Like,
Yeah.
Xbox, I think, has like 2 maybe. And with the cross-platforming.
Wasn't it Dead Rising?
Dead Rising? I think so. It might be. I'm not quite sure. It might be because the game is ridiculous. I don't like it.
Now, the big question for me is, would you buy a new console now, or would you wait until the month after Christmas? Because I foresee them busting the price down like a month after Christmas. Like a Labor Day sale.
They might. The thing is, the reason Xbox will probably win the holiday season is because these games are going to come out first. And people are going to want them right away. Yeah. So that's the only reason Xbox might win in the holiday season. At PlayStation, I would wait. Yeah. Because there's no reason in rushing to get a PS4 right now. I would wait until, like you said, March.
So PlayStation is tax return time.
Yeah, PlayStation's tax return. Xbox is get your kids a gift for Christmas, or get yourself one. There's amazing games coming out before taxes come out. You're gonna love the Xbox better than the PS4 right now.
Not a chance.
I don't get it.
Yeah. All right.
Ever.
Sports.
All right. Keep sports kind of brief. We got football as usual, but let me touch on baseball real quick. The Chicago Cubs are in the, let me get this right, NLCS. There's so many letters, I hate it. The National League Championship Series. There you go. Yeah.
Which means they won the
National
League
Division Series. The DS. All right, there you go. Yes. The NLDS and the NL. There's too many letters.
Sports. That's all I got for this segment.
All right, so that's not, my dyslexia is not what's important. What's important is that the Cubs are actually somewhere they haven't been since 1908. So it's been over 100 years
since they won a series. And
yeah.
Now they're going into the NLCS, and that's big because right, that's when you can start talking World Series.
Yeah, you can feel like you're gonna make it there. That's you passed the hump. You're there. You're ready.
So Cubs fans are now going to start to get emotionally involved, and hopefully Bartman stays home.
That's a good idea. All right.
So Cubs could make uncharted territory again, man.
Yeah, they could make history. This could be a big year. This could be bigger than when the Red Sox won in 2004. Yeah,
I thought it was earlier than 2004.
No.
Red Sox.
It was the year when...
All right, so the Cubs might make it to the World Series. They might win the World Series. They might be amazing. We'll see what happens. Moving on to football, which we always have football because football is football. It's amazing.
What's a horse collar fine?
Okay, it's when he hooked around here and like swung around and pulled him down with it, right? All right, so here's what's up with the fines. Xavier, there's been several silly fines, some that have been really like, you need to get on there, do the fine, whatever. They've been good about it. But Xavier Rhodes' horse collar fine was one of the major ones that happened recently, and it was a big fine. He did do the horse collar thing, he pulled the guy down. He could have hurt him, neck injury, so on and so forth. So he got fined $17,363. Weird ass number. Not a lot to them. He probably didn't care, but it's a weird number, right? Odell Beckham Jr. got fined $9,000 for reportedly, well, he did. They showed the replay. He was punching another player. But the Bills, after the game, started complaining about how, he punches people. He's going to get away with it. He's a prima donna. He's on Madden. All this stuff, talking shit about him, saying, he punches people and gets away with it. There's a lot of people punching people on the football field. You hit people after the snap, you're just like angry, you punch people. So they don't notice it, or they just don't care, There's a lot, there's 22 angry dudes out there. They're going to want to hit each other. They're going to get mad, It's going to happen.
Yeah, they're in pads.
Yeah, so you ignore it. But, the Bills right after the game immediately called it out. The NFL wasn't doing anything about it. It wasn't a big deal to them. And then the Bills spotlighted it, made it a big deal, so the NFL had to fine them, and they had to show, we noticed what's going on. They noticed, they just didn't care, because it happens.
If I was the NFL, I would have fined him like $30.
Yeah, here you go. What's in your wallet right now?
What do you do? I fined the guy.
Yeah.
You made a big stink out of it.
So I feel like it was ridiculous and brought on only by the Bills trying to get bad publicity to the NFL when they don't need it already. So then the next three ridiculous fines. Matthew Stafford gets fined for wearing blue cleats. $5,787, another weird-ass number.
Is that not the color of his team?
That's what's up. It's the color of his team, but they're not approved cleats. They didn't want him to wear those cleats. I didn't get into the whole story, but the color of the cleats, they told him not to wear them. He wore them. He got fined. He said he was bringing him to the next game, too. In week 3, he tore up his cleats that he had. The line cleats, they ripped. So he started wearing, these all-blue metallic cleats or whatever. And it's against the uniform policy. So that's the basic fine for the uniform policy, $5,787.
I thought maybe he wasn't wearing the pink cleats for Breast Awareness Month or something like that.
No, because they would have
Always
given
aware
those.
of breasts.
That brings us into our next thing. D'Angelo Williams is not allowed to wear pink all year to honor his mother who died of breast cancer.
That's bullshit.
They say only during the month of October when it's awareness, but they will not allow him to wear it outside of the month of October. It will be against the policy, and he will be fined if he does.
Wow. That is the dumbest. I mean, but that's the NFL, though. The NFL does dumb stuff.
That's bullshit, but I could see, next thing you know, T.J. Johnson, I don't know any football players' names, is going to want to wear a blue scarf for his freaking dog died.
Well, I mean, that's ridiculous. You could say, hey, no x-ray stuff or this and that, but I don't see why color, unless it's ridiculous, I don't know. I don't see why wearing, maybe allow him to wear a pink wristband or something pink, not say you can't wear your whole uniform pink, you can't wear your shoes pink.
A pink nose ring or earring.
Yeah, something like that, something close to him so he'll remember. But then Carmen Hayward, who's on the same team as D'Angelo Williams, was fined $5,787 for writing the words Ironhead on his black against the Chargers. When he played against the Chargers, his eye paint, he wrote Ironhead to honor his father who had died of cancer.
Well, didn't Tebow write stuff on his eye makeup?
Yeah, but it was positive religious.
John 3:16, which I think is copyrighted by the NFL.
Yeah. Because he didn't get fined, did he? I don't think he did. No, but he gets fined for putting Ironhead on to honor his father.
I could see if it was something like
Dickhead.
Eat me.
Yeah, some fucked up shit.
You're dead, or something to intimidate or instill fear, but
yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just them trying to act hard at this moment with stupid things.
Did you hear that? You caught that? My lips just got lazy at the end of the word.
But that's the way the NFL is. The NFL is full of crazy rules that if you don't follow, you get fined what people make in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm fine with it. I'll sleep
3-hour
at night.
fine. Like, what does the NFL do with the fines? What do they do with it?
I don't know.
Is it just profit for them?
Where does it go? Did they get the money? Do they redistribute it somewhere else?
I think it goes into a pot, and then if you land on free parking,
Employee of the month gets the month's worth of fines. That'd be awesome.
Here's all the bullshit fines we got.
Employee of the month, the freaking guy that valet parks all the executives, ends up with a $35,000 bonus check.
that's why so much bad shit happens during the off season. Like 3 people get murdered during the off season
Because they don't want to get fined for murking people.
to fill up the pot. Because you know you're about to roll a 6 and land on free parking.
Alright, well, that's episode 12.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, we did it. Another one.
But before we sign off, we have to give a happy birthday to Dre, who is now older than he was before.
I am.
I don't
I've
know
aged.
how old he
I'm
is.
so proud of you.
If it was that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, I'd be 25 plus 1.
Never
I'm
saw
a
that
Timberlake
movie.
fan.
You've never seen that movie?
I love JT, but
Oh man, they
That
have
movie
little
was
timers
amazing.
in their wrists.
no, I remember that movie. The chick dies in the end.
Yeah.
The movie was
I think
amazing.
No, they both live. They become like Bonnie and Clyde.
His-
The ending's fucking stupid.
His
But
mom,
the movie's cool.
his mom was
dies.
like
Car's
25.
cool too.
She was like 25.
Car's cool too.
The car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mom was like 25 and shit.
His mom was 25 22 times. Because they stopped aging at
You were doing
25.
so good.
Happy birthday to me.
Yay!
Yay.
We were supposed to have
Alright, so from all of us here at Smoking
donuts,
Table,
candles.
I'm Jay.
I'm Dre.
I'm Derek the Jedi.
I'm Bob.
Check out our Tumblr and our Facebook and our podcast.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Facebook. Oh, and we're on the tube of views.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. I was so excited.
So you can check us out on YouTube as well. And we're on iTunes as well. iTunes doesn't get enough props.
It doesn't. We're on iTunes. We are there.
We are everywhere.
Everywhere now.
We are all up in your system at this point.
I'm going to start on Pinterest.